Okay, so we are going to be looking at the editing portion of the website. So let's pretend we just logged in. You want to make sure you're on your home tab and you're going to be clicking this edit site button. And that's going to take you into your Wix editor platform. It does take a tiny bit to load. And then when I say a tiny bit, I mean like 30 seconds, maybe. It doesn't take too long, but it does. But once it's loaded, this is what it's going to look like. It's always going to come to your home page. As you can see, your URLs here, right here. You got some of these site buttons over here, developer mode. You probably don't need to touch any of this. The only thing I could think of is maybe you might get into settings and you might get into site, but rarely do I get into there. There's also this help if you need help with something on your website, that's there. And to go back to your dashboard, all you have to do is click on this and you can see it pops up. Couple more buttons on the home page. Save, auto save is always on, so if you ever get distracted when you're in the middle of editing your website, more than likely it's saving it and has already saved it. But every once in a blue moon, I'll click save any kind of time I make a change on here. And not only that, before you publish your website, you always want to hit save and then publish. That's more of a precautionary thing. A lot of people say you don't have to do that, but I just do it anyway because I'd rather be safe than sorry. Another cool thing with this is you can preview your website, what it's going to look like before it goes live, before you publish. I use this tool a lot. That's just this preview part, just to honestly get around on the website. So these are all live buttons. It's all kind of pretend. So if I wanted to go to the About page and I had to edit something here, could click on there and then go back to Editor, and you're going to be on that page. So that's one way to get around on the website or on the editing tools. These are your undo, redo buttons. You can view it and zoom in and out. The tools, I rarely ever use this. I usually stick to everything over here, which I'll explain in just a second. But search is always if you're needing help with something, you can search right here. And then of course, publish. You're going to always, before you publish, you're going to always want to, again, save, but also you're going to want to see the mobile side of what you do. So you always edit your website in desktop. Always, always, always. First this, and then your mobile will reflect what you did. But because it's a mobile, it's a different sizing and everything like that. Sometimes it doesn't always filter over accurately. So, and that's just standard, honestly. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on the mobile and it'll give you what it would look like on your phone. So you always want to, before you publish, make sure your mobile doesn't look all crazy and weird and lettering's way up here or the box is way over here, all that jazz. And we're going to go back to the desktop. But again, I can't stress it enough. Always edit in your desktop first. And the mobile has a little bit more limitations. We'll get into another tutorial about the mobile part of it, but it doesn't, like, it won't restrict you or anything like that. There's just a couple little limitations, like that you might not be able to do as much in your mobile versus your actual desktop website. Another cool feature is this little page part. This is all your site pages. So, that you have. And this is another way of getting around on your website. There's multiple ways. You can hit preview, go that way. There's over here, drag and drop. This is your announcement. This is that quick, it's called a light box. So this is what I set up. Sorry, we're working on your social media pages. We talked about it earlier. Again, this is like editing. So if you didn't want this X here, you wanted to change the color, it's so super customizable. Probably won't even touch it, but it's there, and that's what that is. And eventually you'll be able to delete this when you go to your manage pages. So we're going to move on from here, let's go to home. Get out of here. So let's look at all these buttons on the side. So here is just adding an element, and it gives you all these other options, like what you want to add to your website. If you just want to add text, if you want to add an image, you want to add a button, any of this kind of stuff. This is more like an a la carte part of the website. With the adding elements to it, it's going to basically be kind of like a drag and drop. Because your website's already set up, you might use this, you might not. Yeah, moving on from there. Adding a section. So technically, like, okay, I'm going to click on this. This is a section. You can see it's highlighted in purple. Oh, and now I come over and I just scroll over this. This is a section. You can see also that there is this little button here and this little button down here. These help you adjust your sections and make them bigger or smaller. And then say you wanted to add more of these icons and lettering and stuff like that. You can honestly drag this down. Let's go down. And it's going to move your entire website down. And how it works is I'm just going to highlight all this. Control C, Control V. Did it work? Control C, V. I'm trying to get it to paste right here. Place and Pi site seam. Oh, that's from a previous website I was designing. That's kind of silly. How did that get there? I think we're having a little bit of technical oh, that's why my keyboard's not connected right now. My apologies that the buttons aren't working. So that's why. Okay, so delete. There we go. So we're going to try this again. I'm going to highlight these. Control C, Control V. There we go. My apologies. So yeah, that was just a simple, and it's going to follow suit with how this one was set up. I messed up. I didn't want to do that. I could hit the undo button or I can hit Control Z. There's a lot of shortcuts. So this is just really customizable. That's what I love about Wix. And it kind of tells you what you're clicking on. We were talking about these buttons over here. So I'll get back to these buttons. So that's the section part of it. And if you click on add a section, they give you a ton of different ideas and hey, you want to add your story, and it gives you basically the formatting of what you could possibly do. Clients, happy clients, all of that, testimonials. That's why I asked about that, because I think there was something like this set up on there at the bottom of the page originally, and I ended up deleting it. But that is something you can add on as a section for that page. So right now we're not going to add anything. Now here is in this button, so we got through add elements section, here's our pages menu. So this is where you're going to manage your pages. This is a very important part for you, especially Atticus, because when you go to add on more remodels and galleries, you are going to be basically copying and pasting these pages. But I'm going to pause the video right now and start a new one to go in depth with that.